By now, anybody who codes has been using AI in some form or the other in their editor of choice. While we all have our favorites, the one that has become very popular over the past 1 year is Cursor. It has become so popular that even NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang mentioned that it is one of the top AI tool that is being used by 100% of their software developers and chip designers.
My favorite enterprise AI service is Cursor.
And while it's a great tool, it also gives us a lot of "you are absolutely right." And with clearer context, better rules, we can reduce that and get better output from Cursor. In this video, I will walk you through some tips and tricks that you can use in Cursor to get the most out of it. When you start building any application, the first step shouldn't be coding, but it should be planning how the application would look like and what kind of features you would have. So my first tip is to use Cursor in plan mode, and you can either do that by using keyboard shortcuts Shift and Tab, or you could just select that from the plan mode here. And what I'm trying to build here is a simple to-do app in JavaScript, so that's what I'll ask it to plan it for me. Help me build a to-do app in JavaScript where I can add tasks and check them off once done. And then I press enter, waiting for Cursor to give me a list of steps and maybe a basic tech stack that I can follow to build the application. It gives me a few questions, which is what type of app would I want? I would want a web app, and it asks if I would want the task to persist after refreshing or closing, and I would say yes. And it asks if there's any additional features beyond adding a checking of tasks list, so I would say that both delete and edit. Both delete and edit. And then I click on enter again to see what are the next steps that Cursor would suggest me. So using this plan mode, you can create the entire plan for building any complex apps. So as you can see that it has created a markdown file for us where it tells us that what we are about to build and what kind of files we will have and what are the implementation details that would look like. So that's how you can use Cursor in plan mode and start the first step of building any application, which is planning. Now that we have our plan ready, so the next step that I would like to follow is to make sure that we have the entire set of workflows from planning to building the project to deploying it is smooth. And for that, the second tip is to use commands within Cursor. You can do that by clicking / on your keyboard, and we do not have any commands that are configured right now. So let's start by creating a command for PRs, and let's give it a name, maybe PR, and let's just click on enter. So it gives us a new markdown file where we'll write some instructions for the agent. So whenever I am pushing out any feature, I would want the PR to be created in a certain way, which should be created a title and description of everything that has been changed, and this is auto saved. So next time whenever you click on / it creates a shortcut for this PR MD file. So whenever your features are created, you can just do / and tell your agent that my features are now done, just use this workflow file or the command and help me create these pull requests. The next step is to start building the app, which we planned in our first tip. And for that, you can click on build here. Also, there are ways where you can select the model that you prefer. For that, by default, I have auto selected. You can just toggle this one off and you can choose any model of your choice. If it's not listed here, you can go to add models, or you could also go here from settings, and then you can add models of your choice like Sonnet 4.5 maybe. So for this example, let's try using the newest model of Cursor, which is also their own flagship model, Composer 1, and we can just click on build to see how the new agent workflow works. The agent has already created the first version for us, and you can review that from this review button here, or we also have a live server running. So this is how it looks. Let's say you are not impressed by how the UI looks like. So the next step that I will show you is how you can add context to your agent chat to make sure that it follows certain documentation and certain image examples. Back to Cursor, and here on the chat we'll type @ And if you see that we can add context to certain files and folders, to certain docs, to terminals, and even to different Git branches. So this helps with even more mature projects where you have multiple branches. You can just refer to certain branches and it can take reference from that and make changes only on those branches, or you could also add to certain browsers. But for this example, let's reference it to documentation on from front-end masters on how to create a to-do app, and then I also have an image that gives an example of how the UI should look like. So I'll also add this one. This is a lesser known tip that a lot of people don't use. You can, especially for front-end engineers, if you're building a UI and you want the agent to help you build the UI that looks exactly same as a reference image or even to a Figma file, you can just click a screenshot and add it there. So I'll just add the image here and I'll ask the agent to follow the documentation and the image as reference to make the app perform and look better. So one trick to get Cursor give you better results is by adding as much context as you can. This could be documentation, this could be images, it could be links or any files or anything that you want that we just saw. And for that, the command to that is just adding @ and then referencing it to any context of your choice. The next tip that I have for you to get better results from Cursor is to add a set of rules. To do that, you need to go to the settings tab from here, and if you scroll down to the rules, memories and commands section, you'll see that there are options to add two types of rules. The first one is user rules, which are global in nature. So you mention it once and it gets followed through all the projects. Then you have project rules, which you mention it and it gets followed only to a particular project. So if I add some rules here, now it will only be followed for this to-do application. And let's see by adding some user rules. Let's say we tell them to add comments only when necessary, and then you can also add another rule which says add all .env files to git ignore before committing. So in this way you can add some rules, and since these are global in nature, it will be followed throughout your project, and Cursor will know that every time it gives you an output, it should abide by these rules. This helps you in getting a cleaner and more to the point response from Cursor. The next tip that I have is to start a new chat as frequently as you can. This could be to add a new feature, or it could be a different kind of help that you're asking from Cursor, maybe to commit your current files to GitHub. This is a common mistake that many users make, is to load one chat with multiple requests. So because of this, Cursor forgets the initial context that it started with, and the quality of responses that we get from the model gets lower. And here's an example. If you see here, we are using 52.5% context, which is a lot. So the next time I would want Cursor to add a new feature to the to-do app, it would be by creating a new chat, which I can do either from here or by using the keyboard shortcut Command N. This last tip is my favorite one. I also use Cursor to write a lot of my technical blogs. So one thing that I make sure to add in my technical blogs is an architecture diagram, which is mostly a Mermaid diagram. And if you did not know this, but Cursor is exceptionally good at creating Mermaid diagrams, and let's see that. So here we are in the chat already, and let's write a prompt to help create a Mermaid diagram of everything that we just created. Help me create a Mermaid diagram of the application architecture. And then let's wait for it to build the diagram for us. It has created the Mermaid diagram for us and has added it to a markdown file. Here's how the Mermaid diagram looks like, and this one tip is something that has helped me write technical blogs, especially on all the integrations that I build super fast. That's all the tips that I had to share. I hope you found this video helpful, and if there's any Cursor tip that I missed and is your favorite one, feel free to drop them in the comments below. If you would like to watch similar videos to this, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.